Hey YouTube, I just got back from a very large shopping spree. I'm not going to say how much I spent on the shopping spree, but it's safe to say that I could have totally completed my Bob project with the money spent at it. And unfortunately, it was not done at REI. It was not done at Amazon.com. It was done at one of the most feared stores for members of the prepper and tactical community. And so let me show you where I went. That's right, I went to the Gap. Now, I didn't go alone. That would be a very dangerous mission. But I went with TheUrbanPrepper. A lot of you don't know this. I've been on a little bit of a diet for the past year or so. And so I've lost some weight and my clothes are starting to get pretty loose on me. And so TheUrbanPrepper felt it was time for me to upgrade my wardrobe. And so that's what we did. And, instead of going with, going over to LA Police Gear or something and getting a bunch of 511 tactical pants maybe, or maybe some REI shirts, she felt it was probably good to have something a little bit more trendy and hip. So that's what we did. We got a bunch of different, tight fitting, not tight, but tighter than what I'm used to, pants and shirts, form-fitting shirts, and just going with something a little more urban and trendy. So unfortunately, it means that I kind of have to alter my EDC setup a little bit because, with my old EDC, I had a little bit looser clothes. I was able to fit things in it. And if I tried to do that in some of these outfits, it'd be very difficult. I'd have bulging pockets and things like that, and it just wouldn't look too trendy. So that's what I figured I would title this video. So tactical and trendy, can it be done? So let me show you a quick example of what I'm talking about as far as, tactical versus trendy. Alright guys, so this is a very common prepper look. It's the, the cargo pants, the t-shirt, some kind of baggy shirt on top, and then you incorporate all your different EDC items as part of this general look that you have. So for example, a lot of people like carrying, some kind of pocket knife with them. Maybe they also want to carry Leatherman or some kind of multi-tool, and maybe a Altoid survival tin. So those are the kind of common ones you do. But really you can incorporate anything you want with the baggy clothes setup. So for example, some people as part of their EDC system, they might want to carry a couple tubes of organic polenta with them. Others might want to carry, in the side pocket, maybe a vertical rabbit wine opener. That's another option. Let's see, maybe as a secondary knife option, you might want to carry some kind of switchblade or fixed blade knife. So I chose the SPAC 16 Ontario, zombie axe would be a good one that you could carry with you. And then also, as a last line of defense, maybe you want to carry some kind of a Louisville Slugger, for example. And so this isn't including, God forbid, the dreaded fanny pack, or just a general jacket. And this is my North Face jacket I wear all the time. So the problem I have now is that I have more of a trendy look. It's a little tighter fitting clothes, and it's harder to sneak some of those things by. So let me put on an outfit, maybe a common outfit that is part of the trendy look, and I'm going to have to kind of base my EDC and change it up a little bit so it fits and blends in. So let me get that on for you really quick. Now here's one example of something that's maybe a little bit more trendy and more form-fitting to your body. So tighter pants, tighter shirt, and it's harder to sneak stuff by with this kind of look. Let me show you another example. Okay, here's another example of a more trendy look. So again, it's kind of tight on you a little bit. I have a button-up shirt, for example. There's no pocket here, so nowhere of hiding anything here. So the main benefit I have living in Washington State is that it rains all the time. So I could warrant having a jacket. Now, TheUrbanPrepper knew this, and so instead of having the North Face jacket like what I usually wear, we had to upgrade to something a little bit more hip. So this is a pea coat, which, it's okay. It's really warm and nice in the rain, and fortunately it also has the pocket, so I could still use the same setup I have as far as my jacket EDC items. So I have the Streamlight Stylus Pro and the Urban Altoid Survival Tin. That's part of my tiered setup. So if you haven't seen the video, I use a tiered EDC setup, and so I have different layers of the tier depending on what I'm wearing, just in case, add a little bit of redundancy and allow me, if I forget something, I still have some stuff on me at all times. So if you haven't had a chance, you can check out that video. So anyway, as far as the EDC items that I carry, I think for the most part I could still carry the majority of my items. It's the tier 2 items, which was some of my tools. So the knife, the multi-tool flashlight. Before I was keeping that in the 5th pocket here, which is it's like a watch pocket, I think is what someone told me it was. That little tiny one here. And on these kind of very straight pants, the pockets are kind of useless almost. If you put one thing in there, you're kind of masking it out. So what I found is that when I was trying to use that fifth pocket like I was before with the baggier pants, it's kind of sticking out, and I couldn't stick anything else in my pocket, like if I needed to put some cash in there. So what I did for now is I've switched over to, you've seen this in my business attire EDC setup. So this is this. So what I've been carrying, I haven't been carrying a full-size knife with me for a little bit with the more trendy clothes. I've been just carrying the Leatherman Squirt, which has a little mini knife on it as well. If you wanted to, you could also use something like the Swiss Army Knife Classic. And then also the Phoenix flashlight. This is the LOD. Yeah, the LOD flashlight. I'm looking at upgrading this one as well. And then I have this little clip here. So this actually hangs. If you haven't seen the business EDC attire video, you can check that one out. But it basically hangs in there, and it doesn't all clump down on the bottom and start sticking out. So, but since I spent a little bit of money on clothes, I told TheUrbanPrepper that, hey, I'm going to have to upgrade my EDC setup. So this is where you guys fall into play. So what I'm looking at doing is making a few minor revisions to my tiered EDC setup specific to wearing trendy or just tighter fitting outfits. So what I'm hoping from you guys is if you have any recommendations on very slim gear items. For example, maybe a very slim knife that would work well with tighter fitting jeans, maybe a case knife, for example. And so if you have any recommendations on gear items like that, please feel free to leave them below in the comment section, and then I'll come do a follow-up video to this one down the road where I show kind of some of the items that I may have purchased based off of you guys' comments. So the two main goals that I had for this kind of project was, number one, staying in shape. I'm almost to my goal weight. I got 5 more pounds to go. But if we're talking prepping and bugging out, I think part of that should be staying in shape. If you have 60 extra pounds on you and you're trying to bug out, it's going to be a lot more difficult versus whether you're in good shape at the time. And then number 2 is I'm just trying to blend in. So I'm trying to blend in with my environment because I'm in an urban setting, kind of in the city. I don't want to stick out like a sore thumb. For example, if I walked into some kind of nightclub wearing maybe the more prepper look. I'd probably stick out a little bit versus whether I'm wearing some trendy outfit that everyone else is wearing. So it's kind of the Dexter Morgan approach. So if you guys are familiar with Dexter on Showtime, his whole thing is just blending in and being unnoticeable. And so I think that's an important part of prepping. So anyway, that's the 2 kind of goals that I'm, trying to follow as far as the setup. So if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below, and I'll talk with you guys later. Take care.